If you've read the title, you know I'm not going to be nice here. I really dragged making this video, guys, because I did not want to drag on Rack, man. Like, I did not want to rank on him. He is one of my favorite characters, the second, in fact. But after this chapter, he's not, okay? Format's going to change this time around. Hit that sub button because I'm about to go in, all right? I'm going to talk about the chapter and give my critiques as I talk about it. So y'all already know we left off where we was last week with Rack and Bomb versus Ranshut and Wee Wee. So the fight begins with the high rankers initiating a fight where Bomb starts to lift Rack into the air with him as he conjures an orb. And Bomb has Rack right beside him, as we could have thought that Rack isn't going to be a factor. He's going to be very vulnerable. So of course all he would mostly do is throw a spear. So the fight gets a little intense where Bomb is attacking and they're blocking, and they come up with a little bit of a combo technique with Ranshut attacking from the far, and Wee Wee gets in close, and there's a good exchange between them and Bomb. And things seem to be a little close with Wee Wee thinking that he could take it easy on Bomb, but we know better, of course. Now, things take an immediate turn when Rack gets snatched up. I don't like this. Bomb immediately picked up Rack when he conjured an orb. You cannot convince me. I know it's already down, it's happened, this is a fact. But you cannot convince me that for that split maybe 15 seconds of fighting with Wee Wee, that he forgot about Rack enough to not bring him in the air with him and for Ranshut to snatch him. No, see, no, I'm not going for that. Bomb is one of the most smartest and calculating protagonists I've seen in any series ever. Not the most, but one of the most, okay? He's a very, very deep thinker in the middle of the fights. He's figured things out. That's his character. It's one of the things we love about watching Bomb fight. You're telling me that in a mismatch, he's gonna forget his friend for a split second where in that split second, Rack could die. Because let's really think about this, right? If it wasn't for the whole chess piece match thing, and this was a fight to the death, Rack would be dead. So Bomb should and would have that same urgency. He forgot about Rack, and Rack gets snatched up. No, not good enough for me. Sorry, not gonna fly. But even so, after he gets snatched up, Wee goes on attacking Bomb, and he says something a little interesting with Bomb's Shinsu reinforcement not being strong enough. That's a key hint to what we saw earlier in the chapters with Urek's Shinsu reinforcement being extremely strong. I think that's leading to a possible training arc with Bomb learning Shinsu reinforcement a little bit better, with his techniques not necessarily catching up. I like to make One Piece references. Luffy not learning Haki until later on in the series, and once you combine Haki with Luffy's attacks, it opened up a whole new world. Of course, Luffy became like high Shishu Bukai level, and then of course Yonko level now. But what I'm saying is, Bomb learned Shinsu reinforcement in a much stronger way. His techniques catch up. Bro, it's hard. It's gonna be hard not to say bro is not a top 30, but that we're far off of that. So Bomb gets beat down to the point where he gets him down and he's freezing him with the chili bear, which is interesting because I thought Wee Wee was more electricity. I didn't realize the bear was like a cold chili bear. Like that, it's a cool ability, don't get me wrong, but giving his attack, I thought it would have meshed really well. But as this is happening, Ranshut is pretty much talking shit on Rack, like, hey, you're weak, you're irregular, this is your fault. Rack's transformation into a native one form. I've never been so unexcited for a transformation for a character that I love than this one right here. Imagine Goku having a new transformation and you didn't like it. That's what's going on with me. This was trash. And I know I started the video off with a reminder. I said that this would happen. This was a garbage scenario for it to happen. I'm sorry. There's been so many life or death situations where Rack could have transformed. This is where you do it during the chess match where things aren't necessarily about Rack and Bomb and the supporting cast. You didn't give us any hints for 7 years. 7 years. We have not heard one thing about the native one and Rack's relationship. Guys, Deus Ex Machina. This is Deus Ex Machina level shit. The only reason it isn't a Deus is because we knew about the native one But to not bring it up for 7 years is insane. Insane. I'm sorry. See you. I love you. I love Tower of God. But this is becoming very difficult to continue with. This is shonen level power up. And it's almost worse than a shonen level power up. Because at least in the shonen you kind of expect it. This ain't it, man. Holy shit. People are like hype, and I understand the community's hype. Like they're hype that Rack is like finally doing something. But this is called fumbling the bag. This is fumbling Rack. This was handled in the most terrible way it could be handled. Look at Yama's transformation, right? People love that Yama's strong right now. Possibly Robodon level, however you wanted to scale it. He was already strong. Okay, he was already a high ranker. He was already a slayer. We already knew that the fangs would boost his strength, no matter whether or not it made him stronger and how it made him stronger. The details of that you can make your own judgments, especially with the recent chapters of him falling asleep and it kind of happening. You can make your own judgments with that, but it's not killer. It's not killer. It's not going to kill the series. This type of shit is what kills a series. Going forward in the chapter, we know that Ranshit says that Rack is high ranker level. Now, maybe beyond. Rack is not my second favorite character anymore. It's honestly a joke. I don't get it. Like, how can you fumble this badly? I don't know if people understand how bad this is. Yama got build up behind everything, okay? He got backstory behind his parents. He got backstory with Doom coming back to life. Yaracha, emotional attachment. Everything you need for Yama to be what Yama is right now. Rack said, fast forward 7 years, transform into native powers. We know it's native powers because Bomb mentioned it. It took Bomb in a weird, not even near-death situation because Bomb's not going to die. I don't know if Rack's paying attention to what's going on, but Bomb's not going to die here. There have been more threatening situations that Rack could have transformed. Bomb is not dying here. He's just getting captured. So the whole Bomb's life was really threatened idea that some people are throwing out, it's bullshit. If there's any place that Bomb wasn't going to die, it was going to be here. But yet Rack got emotional enough to transform. I'm going to move forward, guys. But the disappointment is so massive that it's dropped Rack out of my top 10 characters because I don't know if we can come back from this. I don't know if Rack can come back from this as one of my favorite characters. I know if CU continues to do shit like this, it's not going to go over well at all. The Souls thing was one thing. The Firefish with Kun was another thing. This with Rack, after 7 years, during such an important event that we're not even concerned about Rack's history with no build-up, it's not going to fly, bro. Just to continue on with the chapter, not much happened after that. Rack busts out of Ranshit's hold. As I said before, she said that he's high ranker level. Bomb immediately escapes the chili bear, even though it looks like Bomb wasn't really struggling, but Bomb immediately escapes, and everybody's in awe of Rack. And that's pretty much how the chapter ends. Like, I have no idea where we go from here. If CU wants to do some kind of explanation next chapter, I don't know if it's going to do it, but I'll give him a shot because I love CU. I love the series, so I can give him the benefit of the doubt to clear some of this up. But like me, I know a massive amount of people are disappointed. I know the Korean fan base right now is losing their fucking minds. Not in a good way. That this series is now beginning a massive descent. If you want to make the judgment about Tower of God, if you want to, that it's been declining slowly, but it has peaks in season 3 that make it go back up, but it's declining slowly overall. This would be the mountain descent for me. Like, this cannot happen again. Certainly this way. It's really bad. I never thought that I would drop a series like Tower of God. One Piece, I could never see myself dropping it. Tower of God, I never could see myself dropping it. But if this is the route we're taking, where high ranker level is looking like a joke, and I don't mean it in the form of it being a joke like Rack hitting it, because Rack hitting it is a joke. I'm not. It is, but that's not my biggest gripe. I will just say it takes people 500 to 1,000 years to get to high ranker level. Rack went from regular to ranker. High ranker is an insane jump. Not only that, the way that Wee Wee and Ranshut conducted themselves was fucking cringe. Especially before the chapter even happened last week, with Wee Wee not immediately catching Rack where he should have. Where he should have. But this is just, guys, I'm finding it hard right now just to deal with this. It's bad. This chapter is a 4 out of 10. The art was good. That's it. I would rank it lower, but it's not dog shit. It's coherent enough for you to read it. The Shinsu quality of the battle was really good, but everything else was just mid. Very mid. Lower than mid. C minus mid. My predictions going forward, obviously we get more Rack and Bomb. I don't think we're getting a POV switch. I think we're going to stay here because CU seems to think that this is hype where it's not. Like, that's my prediction. I really don't have anything. My brain is at a point right now where it doesn't want to theorize or make any guesses because this took so much out of me. So, yeah, guys, I'll be streaming tomorrow, 1 o'clock p.m. I want you guys all to be there. Everybody to be there. Please, we'll talk about this. Make your arguments. If you loved it, hey, that's you. Let's talk about this. I am just at a standstill right now. So, I'll catch you guys tomorrow, 1 o'clock. I hope you're all there. Till then, have a good week.